Hello, I'm Christine Boholsky and I am doing my AVMA video for class 2223, spring of 2019. My student ID is 3252091. Let's get started. So today we're going to get blood on Chi-Chi. What I'm going to do is a jugular stick. Jeffrey is going to restrain the dog for me. So what I will do first is I got a cotton swab with some alcohol and my syringe. And Jeffrey is going to hold the dog in sternal recumbency. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold off the vein. Ooh, it's all right, Chi-Chi. And palpate the vein, which is about right here. Use my cotton swab. Take off my needle cap. And advance my needle. And then Jeffrey's gonna hold the vein for me. We're going to put the sample into our tube, and that is a blood draw. All right, we're gonna do a PTT test. So we're gonna come over to our analyzer. It's already on and running. We're gonna hit analyze. We're gonna remove this old place keeper. We're gonna open our pack. We're gonna not touch the analyzing part. We're gonna put in our cartridge. We're going to put our cartridge code. This was a dog. And my PTT tube is right here. We're going to make sure it is in a blue top tube and that it goes up to the analyzing line, which it does. So I'm going to hit confirm. So I'm going to put in my code and my pet's name. I'm going to hit next. The cartridge is warming up, which does take a few minutes. And yeah, we have to stand here. All right, so now our cartridge has warmed up. I'm going to squeeze the pipette, go into my sample, suck up the sample. That way there are no air bubbles. I'm going to drop the blood into the well until the machine recognizes there is a sample. Alright, our machine has recognized that there is enough blood to run the sample. So now we will wait until it's done running. Exciting. Going to throw away our pipette. And let it do its thing.
You can't really see it. You can kind of see it, but not really see it.
You can see that I'm thinking.
I can do a zoom in.
Okay, so our PT is 16 seconds. Alright, so our PT was 16 seconds, which is in normal range. Normal range would be 14 to 19 seconds. And our PTT is 102 seconds, and that is also in normal range. So we are all set to go. We're gonna hit done. We're gonna remove our cartridge. Going to throw it away. Going to Clean up my little mess. Put in the placeholder. And we leave that one off. So we're all set. That's how you do a PTT. Alright, so now we're going to do our microscopic examination. So now I'm going to make my slides. I've had my purple top tube on my rocker, so my sample is distributed. I'm going to take my cap off. Put it in my test tube holder. These are my clean slides. I'm going to take my wooden dowels, insert into my CBC. Pull up my sample. Get my drop of blood. Sample. I'm going to take my smearing slide. I'm going to smear it into the sample till it's across my slide and smear. And then again, back into my sample and smear. So now I would let these dry and then stain them, but I already have a slide that has been dried. So now I'm going to go ahead and stain my slides. First I'm going to go into my fixant and I'm going to hold it in there for 30 seconds. Can you grab me a timer? I'll just count. 1. That's been 30 seconds. I'm going to take my sterile water and on the back of my slide, I'm going to rinse my slide. You don't want to rinse on your sample because it can take the sample off. I'm going to wick some of the water off. Go into my next stain and hold for 30 seconds. That's been 30 seconds. Again, rinse on the back. Wick. Go into my last stain. Hold for 30 seconds. And 30 seconds. Rinse. And I rinse until it's mostly clear from the stain. And then wick. Then I'm going to let this stain sit and dry before I bring it to the microscope. When I go to read the slide in the microscope, turn on your microscope, you go to your lowest setting, insert your slide. I will find my sample in the field of vision, and when that is in focus, I will then move on to a higher setting. Focus, go to a higher setting, focus. When I get to my oil setting, I will go in between Grab a drop of oil. Put that on my slide. Go to the oil setting, focus, and then to read the field, I will move the stage back and forth until I've counted 100 white blood cells. And that is how you read a slide. All right, so now we are going to do a blood chemistry. So I've put in the patient's information. I've selected my machines that I'm going to use today, and I'm going to hit run. Machines are going to alert. We're going to pull out the Cat 1 machines drawer. I'm going to throw away the old sample. Going to take a new cup, put it in the cup holder. I've already spun my blood sample, so I have just a little bit of sample to work with, but that's okay. Going to take out one of our pipette tips, put it on my stylet, open my sample, plunge, insert, slowly and carefully drop my sample as to not get any of the red blood cells. I have my sample, going to inject it into the cup, recap, throw away my pipette, open my cartridge, put it into my slide holder, close my drawer, hit run. Alright, now that that is running, going to get my CBC sample off of my rocker. I'm going to invert it just a couple times to make sure that my rocker did a good job. Going to put it into my folder. And away we go. Then we'll just wait and then get our results. All right, so our chem machine has finally finished its process. So we're gonna go into our computer. We're gonna go into viewing our sample. And our results for the chem machine are gonna be right here. So our glucose is a little low. Well, it's a lot low. It's 26. But all of our other values are within normal range. So that is good. We will see what we want to do about this glucose. All right, so our CBC machine has now finished. So now we're going to go look at our results for the CBC. We're going to go hit the machine, and then our values are kind of high for most of our red blood cell values, but our blood cell count is good, and our hematocrit is 45. So I'm happy with that, and we will let the doctor know. All right, so now we're going to perform a packed cell volume and a total solids for our patient. So I'm taking my syringe, going to invert my CBC tube a couple times, uncap, draw up a sample, I'm going to take my PCV tube, and my sample. I like to do 4. And I'm going to cap the ends of my PCV tubes. Like to wiggle wiggle them around to make sure that the cork really gets in there. So you can see I have a good amount in my tube, and you can see my cork on the end. So that was successful with all 4 tubes. Now I'm going to take these tubes and bring them to the centrifuge. Distribute them equally around my centrifuge. Make sure I screw the top on. Select my hematocrit setting. Close my top and hit go. You won't wait. Okay, so our hematocrit tubes have almost come to a complete stop, so I'm just going to wait a couple more seconds until it has come to a stop before opening the lid of my centrifuge. Going to unscrew my cap. Gonna take out my samples. Going to bring them over to my graph. I'm going to find the top of my serum, which is right here, and the bottom of my cork. I'm going to line up the top with the top of the graph and the bottom with the bottom of the graph. And I'm going to look, and the graph says that we are 35%. I'm going to check one more. So the top of my serum, and the bottom are my plasma, and the bottom of my cork, or the top of my cork. And this one is also 35. So those are consistent. Now I'm going to get my total solids. Gonna break it right above where the red blood cells meet the plasma. Shoot my sample onto my slide. Close my slide. And use the light. We are about 6.5 for total solids. So both of those are great, and I will let our doctor know.